one of them joints right here, man, that you play when you feeling down on your isn't right. Play this shit right here and resuscitate your pimpin' and get you right back on your mission, right? For you hoes, this that shit you play when you ain't feeling like super hoe today. Play this shit right here and to spark up your hoeing and get you right back going, you dig? Dig this. Pimps for real, don't mistake it for fashion. The turf that birthed my reputation for mashing was the track with active, attractive hoes. Professional goers that attract the dough. Like magnets to metal, never settle. We scorching them fag bitches pedal for them portions. My whores win it all. Not the ones on the sideline wishing but didn't ball in the guidelines. My bitches did it all. Down 7 below in the snow for dough. Over 120 in the sun for fun. They mash for hours, hooker baths, not showers. Bright and early, down and dirty for the cash and power. They gotta get the cash, the towers, and reach it all to a pimp. In my position, I'm all but exempt. These bras not wimps, I'm like them renegade bitches. BFFs with tricks but never getting paid riches. Grenade bitches, they dynamite, blowing up on the pimpin' and missing when the time is right. But when they life gets strife, they see pimpin' shining bright, but they action is life without. Bitch, one strike you out. Can't stop, won't stop, poppin' pimpin' nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, smashing on these bitches nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, poppin' pimpin' nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, smashing on these bitches nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, poppin' pimpin' nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, smashing on these bitches nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, poppin' pimpin' nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, smashing on these bitches nigga. See, that's the difference nigga. The pimpin' mashin' for these riches nigga. Nothing like you master magician niggas. Smoking mirrors with your game, hella extras to reflect the opposite appearance of a lame. Bitches coming from y'all, I can't rock with those. Tender-footed and rooted in them doctor shows. Soft shoe rituals, minute residuals. Papers on life support, your loots and critical. Something I learned about when running my earned route and working with turnouts is murdering burnouts. Cause knocking one of you niggas for a scarred bitch, that's knocking one of you niggas for some garbage. I'm heartless regardless, empty with sympathy, but banked up to the max with pimpathy. No remedy for me, I'm like this. My life is vice grip, synced in permanent ink. You can't rewrite this. My blood type is P positive, beautifully deposited with a lot of it. I'm popping this shit, and when I pop it so hard I make a trapping ass bad bitch wanna hoe hard. Can't stop, won't stop, poppin' pimpin' nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, smashing on these bitches nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, poppin' pimpin' nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, smashing on these bitches nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, poppin' pimpin' nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, smashing on these bitches nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, poppin' pimpin' nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, smashing on these bitches nigga. Come on pimpin' man, pop that shit. Show these sucker niggas they can't stop that shit. Let these hookers know if they wanna cop that shit. Treat the bag like it's hot, bitch, and drop that shit. And to you hoes, if you ever took a loss, bitch, show these bitches how to bounce back like a boss, bitch. Let them know that the best way to floss, bitch, is reach that paper to some pimpin' hoe and toss it. Can't stop, won't stop, poppin' pimpin' nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, smashing on these bitches nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, poppin' pimpin' nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, smashing on these bitches nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, poppin' pimpin' nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, smashing on these bitches nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, poppin' pimpin' nigga. Can't stop, won't stop, smashing on these bitches nigga. One of them joints right. Right. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Let's see, speaking of mic. Oh shit. Hold on. Tripping. Okay. My mic should be good now. Y'all already know what to do, man. Wipe your feet off when you step into a pimp's domain. Hit that like button. Wipe your feet off at the door. We're going to chop some good game, man, as usual. You just get a couple things in order. I'm trying something new, and I'm going to see if I can do it. Let me see. I'm so mad at myself, man. Y'all know Freeze always prepared with the love on deck, man. But tonight, I made a mistake in not getting no love before everything closed. See, over here where I'm at right now, everything closed early and opens late in the morning. That's one thing I don't like about a lot of stores in Columbia. They close at like 8 or 9 o'clock, but then don't open till like 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. And it's like, damn, what if you're an early bird? You know, a lot of times I like to get up at like 4:30, 5 o'clock, head to the gym. A lot of shit don't be open that early, man. But yeah, man. So I say all that to say, man, Pimp ain't even got no love juice on deck right now, man. I'm so mad at myself. I almost didn't do this live because I didn't have no love on deck, but I was like, nah, I got to. This is important, man. Got to chop it up. Got to get this game. Okay, let me see, man. How do I know it? Okay. Okay. I think this is how you do it. Okay, hold on. We might got some action. Trying something new, y'all. We live on we currently live on Instagram and YouTube. And I'm trying to do TikTok at the same time. I don't never be on TikTok. I don't never go live on TikTok, but I'm trying to see if I can't get it together right now, then we just gonna have to wait till next time. Oh, no. That ain't what I wanted to do. This ain't the one I want to use. Come on, man. Get it right. Get it right. Hopefully everybody having a blessed morning. It's morning time for most people. Okay. Okay, hold on. TikTok, we might got some action. Ah. Wait, how you? Man, that's weak. Yeah. Okay, wait, hold up. We might can do that. I wish I could show y'all my screen, show y'all what I'm doing. Pimp learning as we go, you dig? Okay, that's cool. Cool. I had to adjust my screen. You know, TikTok is they want to be complicated and difficult and things. I think we about to be good. Come on, man. You know, it's always some shit trying to come against this game, right? But you also know that the game is going to prevail. There's always some shit trying to come against this game. Come on, man. Come on, man. God damn. TikTok make you do too much, boy. It got like 5 different go live buttons. You press go live, then you got to do something else to go live, then you got to do something else to go live. It's like, goddamn, just let a motherfucker press the live button and go. Shit, I'm gonna press go live like 3 different times and make me do something else every time. If it don't work after this, man, we just gonna have to try TikTok at a later date. Trying to get this game to all platforms, man. Trying to, make this game available to everybody. Some people be on TikTok, and I got a decent little following on TikTok. Ain't the biggest, but I got like 12,000 followers. Okay, we live on TikTok. God damn, finally, shit. All right, man. Y'all already know. Once again, wipe your feet off when you step into a pimp's domain. Hit that like button. I don't need y'all tracking none of that, sucker dust, no buster dust, no snitch dust. You know what I mean? We don't need none of that type of residue in this live right now, man. So yeah, man, hold on. I'm mad that I ain't got no love, man. Y'all know I'm tripping. Y'all know Freeze always keep the love on deck, but see, it's beyond my control right now because everything is closed around here, man. I can't even go get no water at this time. It's almost 4 o'clock where I'm at right now. And they do have a 24-hour store out here. They got a store in Columbia. It's a chain called OXXO. And OXXO is like their version of 7-Eleven or Circle K. But that shit is a long ass little ways from here, man. And I ain't feel like going all the way over there and shit. But anyway, yeah, man, I wanted to get on here and chop this game up about snitching, man, because you got so many different people with so many different definitions and variations of what they consider snitching, right? And first and foremost, I got to say this. A lot of the people talking about snitching and trying to define what snitching is ain't got no business talking about or trying to break down anything because, this comment section on these platforms is powerful, right? The comment section has a way of making people think they smarter than what they are. The comment section has a way of making people think that they're experts in things that they have no knowledge or experience with or of. This comment section, man, you could be watching a video of a neurosurgeon doing surgery on somebody's brain, and your ass will get in the comment section, trying to tell them what they doing wrong and shit like that. And then don't let you get enough likes about the shit. Next thing you know, you're going to think you're a damn neurosurgeon, or you could teach neurosurgeons a thing or two about surgery and shit, man. That's the problem with this comment section. So on that same token, you have all these people that have no business trying to break down what snitching is or what snitching ain't, in the comment sections and even making videos. You got people making videos who don't have no business speaking on the shit because it's out of their realm. I know a lot of shit, but I don't know all the shit. I don't know everything. I know a lot of things, but I don't know everything. So I don't, speak on things that I'm not familiar with as though I am. But when it comes to snitching, this is something that I'm very familiar with. This is something that I have experienced, unfortunately, firsthand, in that legal system, somebody that I was in the streets doing dirt with, coming to court to testify on me. Yeah, I done been through that, man. I've been through certain things. I've had people, go out of their way. People who I don't even know, people who I haven't even met personally. I've had people go out of their way to try to have my freedom taken from me, right? So I've had, several experiences within my life in regards to snitching. And me, myself, I don't even know how to snitch on nobody, you know. But we gonna get into it though, man. Now, as I've told y'all before, this is the realest definition of snitching that you're gonna get. Snitching is helping those people do their job. Now you have different people that say different shit. You got different people from different regions saying different things. You got people from different generations saying different things. You got people that like to manipulate the definition to their own liking and to their own convenience and all this type of shit, right? But you know, you have some people that'll say, "Oh, snitching is when uh you do something with somebody and then you turn on that somebody." But snitching ain't if you didn't do something with somebody, like if somebody do something to you and then you tell on them, that ain't snitching. Or if it's your enemy, that ain't snitching. Or if y'all wasn't partners and you give some information about somebody, that ain't snitching. You got all these different things, man, but snitching is simply helping those people do their job. And there's a million and one ways to do that. There's countless ways to help those people do their job. And, another thing that people have a problem with, they'll say, "Oh, if you don't have no paperwork, then you shouldn't be talking about it." Listen, man, do you know how many ways you can snitch on somebody without there being any paperwork? You think you're going to be in somebody's paperwork if you make an anonymous 911 call? That's snitching. But there's not going to be no documentation to prove that. But it doesn't mean that you didn't snitch. If you made an anonymous 911 call and said, "Hey, such and such is over here doing this," or whatever, whether it's somebody that you were involved in a crime with or not, if you live in a certain lifestyle, then that's snitching. Now, if you was a tax-paying civilian, you ain't never been in the streets, then this don't apply to you. The definition of snitching really don't apply to you. Now, however, I have my own personal outlook on that when it comes to black people in particular, right? I just think, personally, that black folks shouldn't be calling the police on other black folks. When it comes to a lot of things. Now, if it's a life or death type situation or it's a grave situation, then I can understand, but just calling the police on somebody just to be calling them on them, man, that type of shit ain't cool when you black. Because, the whole idea of police in a lot of areas, in a lot of instances, is really to tear us down as a people, right? So I just, that's just my personal thing. But, in general, beyond my personal thing, hey man, snitching is helping them people do their job. If you're a civilian, and that don't apply to you. But if you are involved in crime or you involved in the street life or whatever the case may be, hey man, you help them people do their job in any kind of way. If you give a statement that could incriminate somebody, if you dial 911, if you get on the stand for show and testify against somebody, but helping them people do their job, that's snitching right now. Why is snitching seen as such a bad thing? And how come you have some people in certain circumstances with certain people justifying what somebody did? Like with the whole Gucci Mane situation recently, right? It's all over social media that Gucci, the big bad wolf in the rap game, the realest nigga in the rap game, the most street gangster dude in the rap game, done told on somebody. He helped them people do their job. He identified somebody, and it's documented. He identified somebody that allegedly perpetrated a crime against him, and it's documented. So it's safe to say that Gucci helped them people do their job. Now, Gucci, once upon a time, you know, was involved in the streets. And then since he's been a successful artist slash mogul, businessman, what have you, he still, proclaims to have the same principles that he did when he was in the streets. He still proclaims himself to be a quote unquote street nigga. So, there's been at least one viral video of him floating around the internet, this fairly recent, of him saying that if you run up on him, he gonna smoke you and he ain't gonna tell the police nothing. He's not gonna snitch, all this, that, and the third, right? So he helped them people do their job. Now you have some people that say, Gucci's a rat, this, that, and the third. But then you have other people that say, well, what was he supposed to do? He's not in the streets no more. He's a businessman, and how's he gonna handle it like a street person when he's a businessman? This, that, and the third. See, this is the thing, right? We're gonna talk about why snitching is seen as such a bad thing, right? And we also gonna talk about why people feel so comfortable justifying snitching, especially depending on who it is, if it's somebody that they like, admire, or a fan of, or what have you. When people try to justify snitching, they say that, people living up to a street code that don't do nothing for our people, that don't do nothing for the community. The streets is dead. The street code is stupid. All this, that, and the third. See, I'll use myself as an example, right? I ain't never snitched on nobody, never will snitch on anybody, no matter what the circumstance is. I don't know how to give them people information. I don't know how to help them do their job, right? Why am I that way? How come I will never tell on anybody? I've been shot before. If I knew who the person was that shot me, which I don't, if they walked in this room right now, I wouldn't be able to recognize if it was them. But let's say I did know who shot me. This is somebody who could have very easily taken my life. That bullet that hit me in the leg could have hit me in some other part of my body where I wouldn't be here no more. So if I had the opportunity to help them people do their job when it comes to that, I would not. But why am I that way? Is it because I'm just so loyal to the street code? Is that why I just can't see myself telling on anybody? That's a part of it, but that's a small part of it in the grand scheme of things. The reason why I don't tell on anybody and have been in situations where I could have told on somebody, my partners, when we went to prison and we was, in court, facing 15 years and shit, like, and we some young dudes, we like in our early 20s, all of us. And, we facing 15 years and shit. Ain't none of us never been to prison before. And, all of our attorneys is getting at us individually. Like, yeah, if you give information on them, whoop de whoop, you could go home right now. It's beyond the street code. It's a thing called integrity, first of all, right? When you have integrity, your integrity just won't allow you to do certain things. For me, my integrity won't allow me to do no bitch shit or anything that could be interpreted as bitch shit. My integrity won't allow me to do anything that's less than manly. My integrity won't allow me to do anything cowardly. And that's how I see that. If I signed up for the street life and I knew the consequences and the potential consequences of this lifestyle that I choose to live, and the pressure gets on me and I take a coward's way out. My solution to the problem is a coward solution. I can't. My integrity won't allow me to do that. It's beyond a street code, you know. So, um, in Gucci's case, if Gucci had the same brand of integrity that I have, there's no way that his integrity would allow him to help those people do their job. See, I don't know about Gucci. You know, I know he done been to prison and he done did time before and all this type of stuff, but you know, everybody's affected differently by their experiences, right? And me, personally, I've had the police do so much foul, underhanded, crooked ass, punk ass shit to me throughout my life. I can't they just some despicable motherfuckers to me, right? And you know, I know everybody's not the same, so I know every is not like that, but it's just such a high probability of them being foul. It's just their culture. They have a certain culture that I just cannot fuck with on no level. Even if I was a square that never was in the streets, like the culture of law enforcement in America is just so foul, especially when it comes to black people. I just, I don't, I like, I can't do it. Like, I ain't never been in that type of situation that Gucci was in, but like I said, I'd have been shot before, but I ain't never been like robbed at gunpoint and all that type of stuff. But um it wasn't robbed, but it was like a little bullshit situation. I talked about that. It's a video, it's a live stream I did years ago, man, called I Should Have Died in Ohio. And if you go back and watch that live stream, you'll hear me tell a story about when I was in Toledo, me and my brother Smooth, shout out to Smooth. Smooth and I, we were in Toledo, Ohio. It's back in 2002. And I was on some bullshit. I was fucking with this dude girlfriend. Knew she had a boyfriend, but I still was fucking with her. And I knew the boyfriend didn't like me, but I still was fucking with her. In his town, I'm 2,000 miles away from where I'm from. I'm in a town that I'm not from. I'm in this dude's town messing with his girl. I was out of line, right? So I put Smooth and myself in a very compromising situation. And we end up getting stomped out at gunpoint. Uh, Smooth in particular got pistol whipped, got his jaw broke, and I got stomped out. And this was on my account though. This was because of my doing, right? But whatever the case, these dudes pistol whipped Smooth, stomped both of us out, beat us to a bloody pulp, literally, like beat the shit out of both of us, right? Um, I didn't go to the police. And if the police would have came to me, I wouldn't have had nothing for them. I just, like I said, and that's like early in the game. I was like, what? I think I was 20 years old when that happened. I was like a couple months away from being 21. I was about to be 21 in a couple months when that happened. So I was 20 years old. And at that time, I didn't really have a whole lot of encounters with the police, but even beyond myself, right? So let me go a little deeper, right? I'm an 80s baby, 81. So I remember the 80s as a little kid, right? And my uncles used to sell dope. And I just remember certain shit that the police did, like, man, as a little kid, 6, 7 years old. I remember one time, I think I told y'all this story before. Um, I'm about 7 years old, and we all at my grandma's house. Me and my cousins, my uncles, we all in the living room watching TV, watching something. And LAPD busted in the door. boom, busting the door and shit with their guns drawn. They make everybody put their hands in the air. My grandma, my cousins, they got guns on all of us like we a danger to them. We little kids at the time. My grandmother, she got to be in her 60s at the time. Like, this is crazy. You know what I mean? Like, I just, it's just certain shit like throughout when I say my whole life, it's just certain things that the police done did, man, that I could never fuck with them on any level. Like, I could never cooperate with them against my worst enemy. I just cannot cooperate with them. Right? But this is all what factors into my integrity. Right? I know they don't mean us no good. The police, they don't mean Gucci Mane no good. Like, him helping them is not gonna like make them, be nicer to him or treat him some like exceptional way because he gave them information. This is what people don't think about. See, it's easy to get in the comment section and say, oh, what was he supposed to do? Woody, 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 woo. First of all, he didn't have to do shit. You know what I mean? Because there were other victims there. One of them being a retired police officer, which is his security. Like, him and that white boy, they probably was going to tell regardless. So he did that because he wanted to. He did that because, that's just what he wanted to do. But, like I said, people got all these different variations and definitions of what snitching is, man. But, nobody ever talks about the reasons beyond a street code. That's the only thing people could go to when they talking about snitching. Oh man, the street code. That's why, like, a few months back when the whole shit with Young Thug and other people that people want to justify and shit, when Young Thug got caught snitching, they want to come. All the rappers want to come, or I'll say the Atlanta rappers at least, that I know of. Maybe some other rappers, I don't know, but I know a bunch of rappers from Atlanta. Now all of a sudden they want to come with this. The streets is dead. The streets is dead. Y'all loyal to the streets, and the streets ain't loyal to you. So why is you sticking to this street code and not snitching and all this, that, and the third? No, that's just a cop out. That's just something to hide behind for you being a buster. That's something for you to hide behind to justify you doing bitch made shit. Because again, like I said, for people that live the street life, the reason why somebody does not snitch has a little to do with a quote unquote street code. But for somebody who's really true to not snitching, it's deeper than that. It's beyond that. What type of man are you? Are you a man with integrity, or are you a coward? And for me, if I help them people do their job in any kind of way, I would just feel like such a coward. Because, if I did something and that something put me in a hot position, or if somebody just decided to do something to me, see, I that's another thing with me, man. I'm just so real with myself, and I just understand that I'm not perfect, and I've made a lot of mistakes, and I've done people wrong in my life. I don't consider myself to be a foul person, but there have been moments in my life where I've done people wrong. I'd be a lie to say something otherwise, right? I haven't intentionally done somebody wrong in a very, very, very long time. And I'm talking about people that didn't do me wrong first. There's been times in my life where I did people wrong that didn't do me wrong first. Now, if you did me wrong first, then I don't feel no type of way about that. If I did you wrong in response to you doing something wrong to me, then I don't, it is what it is. I don't feel no type of way about that. I'm talking about me doing somebody wrong that didn't do anything to me in the first place. It's been a very long time since I've done that. But I know I've done that, right? So even if somebody does that to me, somebody who I didn't do anything to, but they come and do something to me, I'm going to just, if I can't hold court myself in the streets, then I'm going to just have to chalk it up. Because you reap what you sow. And that's how I look at that. Like I've taken certain losses in the streets before, right? And it wasn't because I did something to somebody. You know, just one thing or another might happen. I just take a loss in the streets. I just charge it to the game because I know you reap what you sow. And I just look at it like, well, shit, maybe that's, you know, me reaping what I sow because I did this back then, or that time I did that. I didn't get away with that. This is me paying for it now. That's how I look at shit. You reap what you sow, right? So just like you can sow certain seeds of good, you can sow certain seeds of bad, and you reap what you sow. Now I see a comment about insurance claim, right? To my understanding, those items had tracking devices on them. I don't know about all of them, but some of those items had tracking devices on them. That's one. And then two, all of this is on video. Like, let's say you genuinely don't know who took your shit. I don't know this person. They had masks on. You know, I mean, that's not the case in this situation, but let's just say hypothetically, let's just say Gucci was like, you know, walking to his car. He was leaving somewhere, walking to his car, about to go somewhere, and somebody ran up on him with a ski mask in the thing, and they made him, you know, come up off all the shit, and he really don't know who did it. Who he gonna tell on? And what kind of, you know, if he does make a police report, it's just like, hey, I don't know who took what, but you know, this came up missing. Is he not gonna be able to file an insurance claim then? See, this is what I mean by, you know, you got all these people with this justification as to like why he did what he did. You know what I mean? Like, for me, when I look at what he did, I just see it as what it is. It's a cowardly act. It was a cowardly act. He didn't have to do that. He just felt like doing some, I mean, he probably don't look at it as cowardly shit. That's how I look at it though. So he just did some cowardly shit. Straight up. You know, and me, I just, you know, I can't I can't rock with that, man. I don't know how people do it. I don't know how people do it, man. But give me just a second, man. I gotta drink some coconut milk because I ain't got no damn love juice. I gotta put some coconut milk in my body, man, which coconut milk is good for you anyway, so give me just a second. See, this shit right here is just so fly. And this glass has only ever seen love. Even though this is a form of love, but the purest form of love only goes in this glass. So I can't even put the love I mean, I can't put the coconut milk in this glass because this glass is reserved for the love. So give me a second while I find a different glass for this coconut milk. Damn shame, man. I feel like Popeye without his spinach right now. Feel like Popeye without his spinach, man. Gotta drink some, put some damn coconut milk in my body. Oh man, cold blooded, cold blooded. It's alright though. Shit ain't gonna be a store open around here for about another 2.5 hours. Cause the earliest store I think open at like 7 o'clock. I might be able to get some water at that time. I can't lie though, this coconut milk is fire. You know, I don't drink dairy, so it's only coconut milk for a pimp, you dig? TikTok is saying my shit is choppy. YouTube it look cool. Okay, you on the YouTube. Okay, Dead Prayers. Oh shit, it looked like TikTok. Yeah, TikTok is tripping. You know, this is my first time going live on TikTok for real, for real. Uh, so you know, I don't know if it's something that I ain't doing right on there or something. I don't know, but whatever the case, as far as my end, I see it. I see it doing what y'all saying is doing. Oh damn. Yeah, TikTok is tripping, man. TikTok is tripping for real. Damn. Damn. Yeah, TikTok tripping for real. Let me see some. Damn. TikTok is on bullshit. That shit is breaking up bad. See something real quick. See if this might help. Hopefully what I just did might help a little something. Nah, TikTok is still tripping. Damn, TikTok is on bullshit. God damn. Man, this shit. TikTok is weak. I ain't even finna mess with that shit right now. If y'all can hear me on TikTok, man, come on over to the YouTube or to the Instagram, man, because TikTok on bullshit. They make you download this app, TikTok Live Studio, and that shit is tripping. Excuse me, man. I was trying to accommodate the TikTok family, man. Let me see. I wonder if. Give me just a second. Yeah, TikTok is on bullshit. But anyway, man, we gonna continue with this game, man. If you can hear me on TikTok, man, I tried to even type it in the chat, and the chat is tripping. Like it keep freezing up on me and stopping, and I can't even type in the chat. I was trying to go to it from my phone, but my phone won't let me go to it because I'm live on the laptop. Yeah, I don't know, man. Until further notice, man, I might not be going live on TikTok again. At least not like this. Maybe next time I have to do it from the phone. Cause like this shit is bullshit. Matter of fact, I'm gonna end it because it ain't no point in continuing because people can't even see me or hear me probably. I'm gonna go ahead and end this TikTok live. Give me just a second. It take a second just to end the motherfucker. Bullshit. Okay. All right. Yeah, man. You know, I guess my outlook on snitching is kind of different as well because of my background. I I didn't have a perfect upbringing, perfect childhood, but I say that I for sure had a solid upbringing in a stable childhood, right? So I guess because of being in my family, not only my father first and foremost, but all of my uncles, my older cousins, just all the men in my family, man, just I never seen them or heard about them doing any kind of buster shit, man. So ain't no way in the world that I could do some buster shit. I ain't never, and I got a lot of family members on my mom's side and even some on my dad's side that was in the streets, and I've never, like I said, I've never seen or heard about them doing any kind of buster shit. I ain't never seen or heard about them snitching or having a bad reputation in the streets. You know, suspicions of them, doing some punk shit. I don't know, man. I'm so grateful for the influences that I had and the way that I was raised and the environment that I was raised in, even though it was kind of, crazy at times. I'm grateful for it all, man. Because it all factors into me being who I am right now, and I wouldn't want to be no other way. For real. So, moving forward, when you see somebody help them people do their job, just look at the character. Like I would hate to be uh associated with or compared to or have anything to do whatsoever with a Takashi 6ix9ine. He's the poster child for snitching these days. And but if you look at his character, the type of guy that he is, it shouldn't surprise you. Like, even if you look at his character leading up to that case, the type of person that he was, it shouldn't have been no surprise to anybody that he hurried up and started talking to them people. He hurried up and started singing like a canary to them folks, man. That shouldn't have been a surprise to anybody because look at the type of character he is. See, like I said, he's the poster child for snitching. And it's even deeper than the street code that allows him to do the things that he does. Just outside of that case, just look at his character. Look at what type of guy he is. He's just not, he doesn't move with integrity. He doesn't have character. He doesn't have dignity. And he's a classic example of what a snitch is, like, to the core, like the type of person that a snitch is. I'm not talking about just the act. See, people get so caught up in the act of snitching that they, just completely overlook what it takes for somebody to do that. What type of person you have to be to do that. People get so caught up in the act of it. And, like I said, you have some people that try to justify the act. You got some people that condemn the act. But they get so caught up in the act of it that they don't even look at the person's character. What type of, principles and values they have or not. And that's what you really got to pay attention to. And for these people that help them people do their job, for these people that end up being snitches and rats, they tend to have like similar characteristics about themselves. When you really look at what type of guys they are, they all got like similar characteristics that I couldn't fuck with. But that's what it's about, man. It's about what type of man you are. What type of principles and values do you have? That's why snitching is seen as such a bad thing. That's why those of us that like really, truly live by that are the way that we are and see things the way that we see things. Because it's just about being a man at the end of the day. What kind of man are you? And some people might be good businessmen. Some people might be good family men. They might be good in several, various different ways. But like I say all the time, man, it was three main things that kept me and Sinful to P so tight. It was three main things that distinguished us from everybody. And out of all the people that we was cool with, a lot of people fell off, and it was always he and I in the end. And those three things, self-esteem, self-discipline, and ability to withstand pressure. See, when you really a man and you stand for real shit, you can withstand pressure. You don't see it no other way. You don't see you don't even know how to fold under pressure as a real man. When you really a man and you stand on some man shit, man, you just can't fold under pressure. Especially like a little bit of pressure. These dudes be folding under a little bit of pressure. But when you a man, you have the ability to withstand pressure. And I hate to say it, man, but it's a lot of people I done crossed paths with in the game, man, that I know they gonna tell. If they put them in that situation, man, they telling. You know, we know some people that have told. You know, so yeah, man. People can say whatever they want, but one thing you ain't gonna be able to call me is a coward. You ain't gonna never be able to say Freeze did some punk shit, some coward shit. Uh, you ain't gonna never be able to say Freeze told on somebody. Freeze ain't never dialed 911 on nobody. Freeze ain't never gave a statement on nobody. Freeze ain't never got on the stand about nothing, never. I don't know how to do none of that shit, man. And I don't know how to help them people do their job in no kind of way. So now that we done had this discussion, man, don't be fooled. You know, and don't be one of those people in the comment section that, you know, you've never lived that life, you've never been about that life, but you an expert on the shit in the comment section, man. Don't be one of them people, man. You know, because that's another thing, right? So speaking of the justification, let's talk a little bit about the justification, right? Because you got a lot of people that justified Gucci Mane, justified Young Thug, justified Gunna, even people justify 6ix9ine. See, this is why me myself, I take breaks from social media, right? When I just did a 7-day fast, the first 7 days of this month, not only did I fast from food, I didn't put any food in my mouth, but I also took a break from social media. I wasn't logged into Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I wasn't logged into no social medias for 7 days. And I barely watched YouTube. I didn't even really watch YouTube that much, but you can consider that you can consider this a form of social media as well, even though it's different from the rest of them. But I took a break from social media, man, and it just feels so good. And one thing, I mean, me, because I come from a different time, I'm always aware of it, right? But for those of you who grew up with social media, one thing that you'll recognize, or that you should recognize if you take a break and step away from it and then come back to it, everything is okay on social media. Nothing is like everything is justifiable. Everything is cool. And you know, that can be problematic. You know, some things have to be questioned. Some things should be condemned. But when it comes to social media, and especially when it comes to certain celebrities on social media, and if they're like very likable or they're very talented or whatever the case may be, you know, it's always these people that come with justification. And, you know, social media has that effect on people where it just makes you cool with shit that you shouldn't be cool with. That's just like you have all these quote unquote street people. Now, you know me, I'm from Los Angeles County, man. I'm from California. Not a gangbanger, never been a gangbanger, but for sure, definitely a street dude, right? But you have all these gangbangers that talk all this stuff about non-affiliate this, non-affiliate that, and they such a hardcore Crip, Blood, Pyru, Hoover, whatever they is, right? But they always on these platforms just doing shit that their integrity, if they had it, wouldn't allow them to do. You know, I don't knock nobody for how they get their money and shit like that, man. But, you know, when you allow money to dictate your behavior, and money kind of like pushes your moral compass out of the driver's seat and takes the wheel, hey, man, it's a lot of sucker shit you gonna do, man. And me, I don't know how to do that, man. It's just certain shit that I just can't do. It's certain topics that I can't touch, you know. it's just certain things that my integrity won't allow me to do, no matter how much money can possibly be involved or how much clout can possibly be involved. My integrity just won't allow me to do certain shit. And like I said, you got all these quote unquote street people, quote unquote gangbangers, and this, that, and the third to do certain things, and I just like shake my head, man. It's very few of them that I see kind of like operate with any kind of integrity. And, they'll talk this and that and the third about people that's snitching, but they don't understand the times that we in. A lot of shit that these dudes be doing is helping them people do their job. Now, it's a little different with the internet because you might not necessarily be intentionally helping them do their job, but you should know, okay, if you from the streets, even if you might not be, involved in the street life currently, but if you come from that lifestyle, there's a certain mindset that comes with that, right? Like me, because I've been in the streets for so long, I just have a criminal mind. I have a street mindset no matter where I may go in life. I might end up being a preacher. I may end up being, running a Fortune 500 company, whatever the case may be. That criminal mind is always going to be there. So it's certain shit that I'm going to always look at through a criminal lens, right? And so because I've been through the system before, and I know how them people think, I know how they operate, I know that anything you say can and will be used against you and all that shit. And they've even made it known. The FBI has got on press conferences and made announcements letting people know that, a large part of our evidence was these podcasts. We went and we used a lot of things that were said on these podcasts as evidence, or we used things on these podcasts to help us with our case. So you might not be intentionally putting things out there to help them people do their job, but like they say, ignorance is no excuse. Hey, man, if you got a criminal mind, your criminal mind just ain't gonna let you do certain shit. Like it's certain hot topics right now that I don't even want to mention. Because it's, I've just seen this happen so many times where people throw logs in the fire on the internet. The next thing you know, somebody's getting arrested. Okay, we could talk about that because he's already locked up and he already has a lot of evidence from the internet against him. But Big U is really, I don't know all the ins and outs, but I can't sit here and say that he probably wouldn't have got locked up if people didn't say so much shit about him on the internet. But a lot of what people say on the internet has a lot to do with why he's locked up facing the charges that he's facing right now. And a lot of these gang members, a lot of these street dudes was covering the shit when certain people were saying shit about Big U that wasn't proven and he hadn't been charged with. You got all these people saying all this stuff about him. I'm talking about, a whole bunch of people were saying shit about Big U. And then next thing you know, he gets locked up for these things that people were having discussions about on the internet. And then when he does get locked up, along with a whole bunch of other people, the FBI let it be known in the press conference that a lot of their evidence came from podcasts. See, there's so many different examples for people to learn from if they're inclined to learn and say, damn, you know what? Big U was on the streets doing just fine. But when myself and others start talking about his case, or not his case, it wasn't even a case. When people like myself and others start talking about the allegations on Big U, next thing you know, he got a RICO case going on. So you know what? Moving forward, I'm not going, if somebody ain't been charged and arrested for some shit, I'm not going to talk about it. This is what a street person who also happens to be a man with integrity is going to do. Even if you make the mistake one time and then you see the results of that mistake. Because all y'all play a part in that shit. When that Big U shit was going on, man, you didn't see me say nothing about it. First of all. Second of all, that's when I stopped watching No Jumper. When all that Big U shit was going on, I stopped watching, and I ain't been watching No Jumper since then. I'm it's like it's I don't even like using that word, but it's like cringe worthy. Like it's like ugh. When I see No Jumper, it's like ugh. You know, I just get like it's like a sickening sensation, man. It's just like ugh. You know, and yeah, it's disgusting. But yeah, man. So like it's certain situations, it's certain conversations that's a hot topic right now within LA YouTube culture that's going around, and everybody is all these gangbangers, all these street dudes is talking about this shit. And I know they thinking like, oh, well, you know, I didn't make it up. That person is the one who said it. I'm just reacting to it. But it's a snowball effect. You know, when the snowball is little, then people might not really be paying attention to it. But as that shit keep growing and growing and growing, everybody talking about it, they like, hold on, man, what's this snowball going on over here, man? What's that about? Oh, they saying such and such did what? Oh man, let's tune in. Oh, they said this is his name. This is his picture. This is oh, he's from over there. Oh man, we got to get on him. This is how shit starts. And all of y'all that react to that type of shit, you complicit. I don't even know how you comfortable doing that shit. If you ever really was in the streets for real, I don't even know how you comfortable doing that shit. I don't give a fuck how much money is involved. It ain't a lot of money. It's, you know, probably decent money for some people, but it ain't like no change your life ass money. Like, when is your integrity gonna kick in and say, you know what, I can't talk about this? Because they saying such and such did such and such to such and such, and this is who it is, and this is their name, and this is where they from, and all this type of shit. Like, how do y'all feel comfortable talking about shit like that? That's crazy. See, I done been locked up before, man. I had people tell on me before, man. So I don't feel comfortable, man. I don't know how people do it. I don't know how people do it, man. That shit is crazy. Man. You know, and that just goes to show you that just because somebody claims to be from a certain section and claims to have done this, that, and the third, hey man, that shit don't mean nothing. Where's your integrity at? What type of man are you? See, it's the internet, but if you're inclined, you can really identify good character in people or bad character in people, even if you don't really know them, right? I used this example before, and I'll use it again because it was a real good example of what type of person this man was, and that's Cameron, right? Some of the realest shit that I done seen on the internet was when Cameron and and Mace, they had Adrian Broner on their show, and Adrian Broner was drunk as hell, and he kept flirting with Stat Baby, and you know, at first it was like fun and games and shit like that, but he just kept going. He took it too far, and then Cameron, he tried to like low key be smooth about it, but like let him know like, oh man, chill out. Then he took it a step further, said, hey man, her boyfriend is right here. You know what I mean? Then Adrian Broner just kept going. Now Cameron could have got, you know, he could have got wild and been on some nigga shit and be like, bitch ass nigga, I told you, you know what I mean? Like, what's wrong with you? Whoop de whoop de whoop. But Cameron handled that situation with so much class and dignity. He was like, bro, you gotta go. But when he made him leave, he kept his word because he told him that he was gonna pay him. Now some niggas would have been like, oh man, you up here, you disrespectful, man, I ain't giving you shit. Cameron paid the man like he said he was gonna pay him. And then told him like, yo, if you want to wait after the show is over with, we can go hang out. But right now you gotta go. You know what I mean? Man, that was the realest shit ever. What I'm saying is a lot of these dudes that be on the internet, they don't even have that type of character. You know what I mean? That right there, when I seen Cam do that shit, that he he gained so much respect from me. So I was like, that's the type of real nigga shit that most people ain't even they not gonna recognize the depth of it. They're not gonna recognize like where that comes from, like what type of man you gotta be to do some shit like that. That was some real nigga shit that he did. But that's just one example of how you can see somebody's character without even really knowing them. And you might not, really see much of them beyond the internet, but like it's just certain type of characteristics that can't be faked. You know what I mean? And I say all of that to say a lot of these dudes that proclaim to be street dudes and shit like that, it's not even to say that they not what they say they about. But see, that's the thing too about this internet. This shit is really a drug. And a lot of people just don't know how to function with this drug called social media. See, I remember them days, man. Like I said, I'm an 80s baby, man, 81. And I remember the 80s, man. I remember being 5, 6, 7 years old, 8 years old in the 80s, man. And, these is the early days of the rock cocaine epidemic, right? So a lot of people didn't know the long-term effects of this shit. So, but what ended up happening to a lot of people in those days is, oh man, Mr. Clark over there, man, he used to get up and go to work every day, man. He had a good job and nice family. Then, Mr. Clark started smoking that shit, man. Next thing you know, Mr. Clark he lost that good job that he had. You know what I mean? He had been on that job for 15 years, man. He ended up losing his job. Then, his wife left him, the kids, they all left him. And next thing you know, Mr. Clark, he lost his house and, he just in the street, smoked out. He breaking into people's cars and shit like that. Now, if you just see the crackhead version of Mr. Clark, you would just think he was just this fucked up dude. But, some people would still remember the Mr. Clark that, like I said, was functional, had a good job, took care of his family. The Mr. Clark that helped people in the neighborhood when they needed help. You know what I mean? If you needed help with this or that, you can go to Mr. Clark. He gonna look out for you. You know what I mean? Just different shit. Social media is the same way. Social media has that same type of effect on people, man. So social media, man, it'll have people strung out to where you won't even recognize who they are anymore if you knew them before social media. And there's certain people that are older that I didn't know before social media that I look at and I tell myself, like, I know this person couldn't have always been like that, man. Social media got this person strung out, man. Cause they old enough to come from a time where, people just didn't do that type of shit, man. But they strung out on social media, man, and now they a totally different person and they doing shit that they, you would never think they was doing. Instead of breaking into people's cars and stealing stereos and shit like that, they doing something just as egregious, but on the internet though. They doing certain things for clout that they never would have did before they was on social media. You know? So I say all of that to say some of these people, that call themselves street people, gang members, gangsters, hustlers, whatever, from the streets, uh, they probably really was a certain type of way back in the day, but the internet just get a hold of people and people change, man. They get strung out. Now I would say that for Gucci, but see, Gucci has certain characteristics a long time ago that people just like kind of either overlooked or didn't see back then. Cause I never that little news clip of him uh saying that Jeezy was the one that sent Pookie Loke at him and all that shit. Like I never had seen that back in the day. But I did see it recently and I was just like, wow, that's crazy that he pretty much implicated Jeezy in a crime back then. And that shit was crazy. Excuse my pimping. But yeah, man, this social media, man. If and like I say all the time, man, what it all boils down to is being the master of yourself. And I have my personal constitution, as a lot of you have seen. If you ain't seen the video on Freeze's personal constitution, I advise you to go check it out. It's a nice video where I break down my personal constitution. And one of my principles on there is, that I will be the master of myself, uh, and my assets, tools, and money, having them serve me, and not vice versa. Like, whatever assets, tools, and money that I utilize, I don't allow that to be the master of me. I'm the master of it, and it serves me, right? And social media is one of those tools. I utilize social media to serve me. I don't serve social media without it serving me. And a lot of people have that problem. A lot of people do that. A lot of people are on social media. A lot of y'all. I'm not going to sit here and say that I ain't never been guilty of it. But see, I know how to catch myself. And now I'm at a point where I just, I can't allow myself to be a servant to social media, and it's not a servant to me. But a lot of people are like that. If you sitting on social media scrolling for hours and hours and hours, if you one of them type of people that you can't wait till Shade Room posts something so you could be one of the first comments on there, so you can get as many likes on your comments as you can, and all that type of shit. you know Now you're a servant to social media, but how is social media serving you? What is social media doing for you besides making you feel good in the moment? And you constantly chasing that moment over and over and over and over again to where you a slave for social media now. You a servant to social media now. It ain't serving you a damn thing. You know, that shit is just it's unhealthy, man. And like I said, a lot of people be strung out and don't even know it. A lot of people is being mastered by social media and don't even know it. Gucci wife turned him to a civilian, got him off drugs, and invested that money when he was locked up. Uh, I don't really know as far as the getting him off drugs part. Now, the invested money part, I did hear, that she did that while he was locked up and he came home to more than what he left her with. I did hear that she was a good steward over his money, I guess, while he was gone. As far as the getting him off drugs part, I would say that him being incarcerated did that. Now, him coming home to a circumstance that was conducive to him staying off of drugs, you can say that she was a part of that, but he was locked up for some years, so I would credit that to him getting off drugs. So, but whatever the case, man, like how you say she turned him into a civilian, uh, that says a lot within itself right there because I ain't never had no woman turn me into anything, man. My mother played a part in turning me into a human being, and that's the only, woman that might have been able to turn me into anything. But far as me being a grown ass man and a woman turning me into something that I wasn't trying to turn myself into, like Gucci, like he wasn't trying to become a civilian, but she turned him into a civilian, man. Man, that shit sound crazy. You know what I mean? Letting a broad turn you into something, man. That shit crazy. I don't know how to do that, man. I turn females into things, but ain't no female ever turned me into nothing. I done turned a whole bunch of females into something though. Best believe that for sure. You know what I mean? I done made a whole bunch of tramps into champs around this motherfucker, man. But ain't no female ever turned me into nothing though. You dig? But it sound funny, but it's real though. Like, and that maybe she did do that. Maybe she did turn him into a civilian, man. I don't know, man. Some niggas like getting turned out, man, by the bitch, man. So I don't know. Maybe that really did happen, man. I don't know. I ain't no turnout, man. Ain't never been no turnout. Ain't gonna be no turnout, man. Freeze ain't no turnout, man. Turn to your neighbor and say, man, pimping ain't no turnout, man. Pimping is not the turnout. You dig? Yeah, man. But I don't know, man. See that, and I didn't even think about that, man. But like how you just said that, turned him into a civilian. Hey, man. Shit. Man. Yeah. Maybe along with turning him into a civilian, she turned him into somebody that's gonna cooperate and help them people do their job. Oh man. I don't know, man. And then Gucci is he's no different from anybody else when it comes to this social media. He might be strung out on social media just like a whole bunch of other people. That might have something to do with it too. I mean, and then oh my god, see, I didn't even get into that. I didn't even get into the song. Oh my goodness. Not only did you give a statement to these people identifying multiple guys that allegedly perpetrated a crime against you. Not only did you do that, this man went into the studio and recorded a song. He sat down, took time to create a song, and then released this song. Talking about the incident. Man, that shit is crazy. Yeah, and you know, I don't know, man. Like I say, the smallest gesture speak volumes about the character of an individual, man. And that had to already, you had to been that type of person. You didn't just wake up and decide to be like this. No, you've been like this. This been in you. For him to make a song like that, that's crazy. You know damn well they're gonna use that in court. I could see the DA playing that shit while everybody's sitting in the courtroom. I could just picture that shit right now. The jury listening to the shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's a testimony. That song might as well be you on the witness stand testifying. That's how I see that song. That song is like the DA cross-examining you like, do you know Mr. What's his name? Lontrell Williams. Do you know Mr. Lontrell Williams Jr.? Yes, I do. Do you see Mr. Lontrell Williams Jr. in this room? Yes, I do. Can you point to Mr. Lontrell Williams Jr.? There he is right there. That's what that song is. That's how I look at that song, man. That's crazy, man. You might as well got on the witness stand and testified against that man in trial, man. That's what that song is. Ain't nowhere in the world, if you really a real man, like a real nigga, man, ain't nowhere in the world you can make a song like that. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know how he did that. Well, I do know how he did that because it was just in him. It was in him already. He was already that type of guy to make that type of song, man. You know? Like, I don't know, man. God damn, that song was crazy, man. Shit was crazy. What's the name of the song at the end of the video? At the end of the video? Or do you mean the beginning of the video? California Nationalist. I'm not sure what song. If you're talking about the song at the beginning of the video, is "Can't Stop the Game." Available on all platforms right now. I think that nigga made that song thinking they can use that instead of him taking the stand. Hey, diabolical work. He probably did. You know what I mean? Because that's another thing, man. I believe that Gucci Mane is far from a dummy. I don't think he's a stupid man at all. So you might be right. Even though at this point, man, I wouldn't be surprised if he take the stand, as well as them playing that song in court. Don't be surprised if that shit go to trial and Gucci Mane take the stand, man. Don't be surprised. I know I won't be. I won't be at all. Because clearly he don't give a damn about what people think. He really don't give a damn about what people think, man. Not only did he give people a statement, but he released a song talking about the incident. Like, it'd be different if they, even though I would never do a song like that, never. But it'd be different if, like, they already got convicted, they already got sentenced, they already doing their time, and then you do a song like that. Even though it still ain't cool, it's like, okay, at least the case is over with now. Now he just talking about, okay. But, man, they probably didn't even reach arraignment yet. They probably wasn't even arraigned yet. They ain't got no bail. They ain't did a bail hearing. They ain't got no arraignment. They ain't, man. They probably barely even know what they charged with, and you done put this song out already, incriminating these guys. Crazy. Crazy. Have you been writing music while being out the country? Yes, indeed, I have, for sure. Pimp definitely working on some music for sure. 100, bro, using music to snitch so he ain't got to go through the shame and possible incarceration for getting his lick back. Scared straight. Yeah, nah, he wasn't gonna get his lick back. Well, that's his way of getting his lick back is helping them people do their job. At the end of your videos, you have some songs playing in the background when you say, "Oh shit." All right, Peter, sinful to P, huh? You have two song. Oh, you have two songs playing in the background. Where can I find it on YouTube? Uh, I know you talking about that song at the very end. That song is not out yet, uh, but it will be soon though. Trust and believe, and it's gonna be some heat. Yes, just got to be a little patient, man. I know y'all been patient for a long ass time because that song has not been out for a long time now, but yeah, it's gonna be out there. When 6ix9ine clown you, you know it's bad. Yeah, and I just like 6ix9ine is such a despicable character, man. I just can't bear his voice. I can't bear the sight of him. But I have seen like thumbnails of people reacting to him. I guess I seen one thing, a title that said 6ix9ine taunts Gucci Mane, or he was taunting him or something. I don't know, man. But yeah, I just can't get with nothing that 6ix9ine got going on, man. It just feel like he got like a virus. Like if you look at him long enough or you listen to him long enough, you might start snitching too. You might accidentally just snitch on somebody on accident. You might get that 6ix9ine disease, man. Just listening to him or looking at him for like 2 seconds too long, man. You might get 6ix9ine, the 6ix9ine virus, man. I'm cool, man. I don't need to get infected by that shit. Akitak Uzi. I think that's how you say your name. Just want to say I love your videos and your perspective, man. Keep it up. Much love from Memphis. Man, appreciate you, man. Much love right back to you, man. That's much appreciated for real. Good looking. But yeah, man, I just had to put some paint where it ain't, man. And I gotta get these digital footprints, man, with this game, man, so that you'll have a point of reference as to, the realest shit on this damn internet. You dig? And so now man, like when you hear people talking about snitching and they really getting so caught up in the act that they not even paying attention to the character of the individual who is, helping them people do their job. Now you have this point of reference, man. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this thing on up, man. Uh I ain't got no damn love, man, so we gonna have to wrap it up with some coconut milk, you dig? Oh man. Shit crazy, man. I ain't gonna get caught like this again, man, cause I feel like Popeye without his spinach for real, man. If I go too long without some H to the Izzo, man, shit, I start having withdrawals and shit. That's why I got to end alive, man. Y'all about to see me start shaking because I ain't had no love since earlier in the night. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, as always, I appreciate y'all for tuning in and tapping in with a pimp. I appreciate y'all sharing this video. I appreciate all the comments, questions, input, jokes, feedback, all that good stuff. I appreciate you for subscribing to this channel. I appreciate you for hitting the bell when you subscribe. No super chats on this one, but if you gave a Cash App or a PayPal, I appreciate it. I appreciate your support in every which way that it comes with it, man. Y'all already know who it is and what it is. Freezes it. If you out in traffic moving around, please do so in a safe fashion. And of course, as always, long live the incomparable Sinful to P. We out.